day, folks, and welcome to review number 37. Today we're going to take a look at a figure that I've been anxiously awaiting for a while now. It is the Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Shockwave. Shockwave comes packaged in the new Generation style packaging, which features this oversized card back here. It has a large image of Shockwave up here in the corner, as well as kind of a throwback grid pattern to G1. The figure comes packaged in robot mode. As usual, the back of the packaging features photos of the figure in robot and vehicle mode. There's again this grid motif, which is harkening back to G1. We have the short bio paragraph here, and we have the throwback tech spec line running across the bottom. So here we have Shockwave in robot mode and magically transported across country. But anyway, of the three Fall of Cybertron figures, Shockwave here is probably my favorite looking of them. He most closely resembles his G1 image, so he's a good homage to the original Shockwave. He is kind of a little skinny, little lanky here. I would have liked it if he was a little beefier. These wings on the back do kind of take away from the figure too. I've seen some people fold them down, but to me that seems almost as weird, if not a little stranger. But overall, the robot mode is pretty good. One thing they almost got perfect with this figure was the light piping. The head, of course, is very much Shockwave, and the light piping itself is great. The problem is they use the same translucent magenta plastic. I would have liked a yellow eye personally, but even a red eye I think would have been a little bit better than this magenta. But like I said, the light piping works great. I just wish they would have picked a little more Shockwave color. Shockwave's weapon is, of course, his gun arm, and they did a nice job with allowing the gun to clip onto his arm here to give him that full gun arm look. He doesn't come with a hose, but they did do some kind of sculpted detail in here to make it look like there is a hose or a cable connecting the cannon on his gun arm, which is another nice throwback. It is a little big though. You can shorten, make it a little smaller anyway by taking off the end piece where you've got this three-barreled cannon. It's still pretty long though, and I think it would have been a little better if they had gone with a little bit smaller piece for this arm. But I'm not going to complain a whole lot about it. It's still a nice weapon. So, on to Shockwave's transformation. Of the three Fall of Cybertron figures released so far, I think Shockwave's transformation is the best. There are enough steps in the process to make it interesting, but it's not so complex as to become frustrating. Everything has its place in both modes, so you don't get a lot of kibble on the figure or the vehicle. The figure also was designed around not having those super tight tolerances like Jazz, so you don't have to worry about having his problems of panels not fitting where they're supposed to. There are several friction tabs though on this figure, and eventually when those tabs wear, they could become a problem, but that will probably be years down the road. There is an automorph feature on this figure, But fortunately, I think Hasbro has learned that the best place for those types of features is in the head reveal. It really doesn't interfere with the form or design of the figure, so I can forgive it. I also found it very interesting how they decided to incorporate the weapon with the vehicle mode. The gun serves a purpose in filling out the figure and the ship's plasma cannon, and by incorporating the weapon into the vehicle mode, you now have a place to store the weapon without having to worry about losing it. Overall, I think Shockwave pulls off a good, solid transformation process, which, so far, seems to be an exception in the Fall of Cybertron line. So here we have Shockwave's vehicle mode, and I don't know, again, I'm not a huge fan of all these Cybertronian vehicle modes, but I mean, it's not bad, and given what exactly Shockwave is, you know, he's in most incarnations he's a flying gun of some sort, and this is a way to create a flying gun and actually have it be exactly that, a flying gun, versus a handgun that's floating around, all of the Marvel comics. But it's not too bad. I've not seen a whole lot of the game model, so I'm assuming though that it's fairly accurate to the game model. But we'll have to see more about that when the game comes out a little bit later. But not too bad with the vehicle mode. I would have to say that Shockwave is a good figure. There's nothing spectacular about him, and if you're already upset about the smaller figures and higher price points, this figure will do nothing to change your mind. But Shockwave does exactly what he needs to do to get the job right. I suppose you could say that this is a very logical figure. In the end, if you could only get one figure from the current Fall of Cybertron line, I would say make it Shockwave. You may not be wowed, but at least you will come away feeling satisfied.